There's a reason you can't finish anything anymore, and it's not the thing you think it is. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's not even about willpower. Somewhere along the way, your brain quietly lost its ability to sit with one single task for more than a few seconds, and by the end of this video, you'll finally understand why and exactly how to get it back. Because right now, while you're watching this, there's a good chance your phone is sitting somewhere within arm's reach, screen dark, silent, waiting, and even though it's not making a sound, some part of your brain is still checking in on it. This isn't a personal failure. This is what a researcher at UC Irvine named Gloria Mark discovered when she tracked how long people can focus on a single task before switching to something else. And in 2004, that number was 2.5 minutes. Today, it's 47 seconds. In 22 years, our collective attention span didn't just shrink, it collapsed by more than 70%, and almost nobody noticed it happening because it happened to everyone at the same time. If you've ever sat down to write an email, study for an exam, or work on something that actually matters to you, and found yourself opening 5 tabs, checking a notification, and forgetting what you were even doing 30 seconds later, you are living inside the exact crisis that computer science professor Cal Newport spent an entire book trying to solve. Newport calls the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task deep work, and he argues it has become simultaneously more valuable and more rare than at any point in human history, which is a strange and painful combination because the skill the modern economy rewards the most is the exact skill the modern environment is destroying the fastest. Think about what a single day of shallow, fragmented attention actually costs you psychologically, because this isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. When you spend 8 hours switching between a task and your phone and back again, you're not actually doing 2 things at once. You're doing one thing badly twice. And there's a term for the mental cost of this called attention residue, where part of your brain stays stuck on the previous task even after you've moved to the next one, which means you're never fully present anywhere, not in your work, not in your relationships, not even in this video unless you've already put your phone in another room. A study out of the University of London found that the cognitive impairment caused by constant digital interruption temporarily lowers IQ by an average of 10 points. And to put that in perspective, that's a larger drop than researchers found from smoking marijuana. We are voluntarily making ourselves measurably less intelligent, all day, every day, and calling it staying connected. And here's the psychological trap inside all of this. Distraction feels productive in the moment, because checking a notification gives you a small hit of dopamine, a tiny reward that tricks your brain into thinking you accomplished something, when in reality you just interrupted the one thing that would have actually moved your life forward. And you did it roughly 96 times today, because that's the average number of times people check their phones, which works out to once every 10 minutes you're awake. But underneath the statistics is something more uncomfortable, and it's this. The constant craving for distraction isn't really about the phone, it's about avoidance. Newport points out that deep, focused work is often uncomfortable because it forces you to sit alone with a hard problem, with your own thoughts, with the possibility that you might fail at it, and distraction is simply the easiest exit door available. Every time you reach for your phone during a difficult task, you're not just losing focus. You're telling your brain that discomfort is something to escape rather than something to move through, and over months and years this trains you to become someone who quits the moment things get mentally hard, in your work, in your goals, even in your own personal growth. That's the real cost. It's not just lost hours, it's a slowly eroding relationship with your own ability to sit with difficulty, and that erosion is exactly why so many talented, capable people feel like they're falling behind despite being busy every single day. So here's what actually works, based on what Newport researched and what psychology backs up. First, schedule deep work like it's a non-negotiable appointment, not something you'll get to if you have time, because if it's not on your calendar with a start and end time, your brain will always default to the easier, shallower task in front of you. Second, physically remove your phone from the room, not just silence it, because studies show that even having your phone visible but turned off measurably reduces your available cognitive capacity. Your brain spends energy resisting it even when you're not touching it. Third, build what Newport calls a shutdown ritual, a fixed moment at the end of your work session where you consciously close out unfinished tasks and tell yourself out loud that the workday is done, because this signals to your brain that it's safe to stop thinking about work, which prevents the mental spillover that keeps you distracted later. Fourth, and this one is uncomfortable but powerful, deliberately practice being bored. Put your phone away while waiting in line or riding in a car, and just let your mind wander without reaching for a screen, because training your brain to tolerate boredom rebuilds the same muscle that lets you tolerate the discomfort of deep, focused work. None of these require more time or money. They require you to protect 47 seconds of focus until it becomes 4 minutes, and then 40, and then an hour, because attention is a skill, and like any skill, it strengthens the moment you stop giving it away for free. The world isn't going to get less distracting. If anything, it's engineered every single day to pull your focus apart a little more, which means the people who protect their ability to think deeply aren't just going to be more productive. They're going to be rare in a way that becomes its own kind of advantage. So the real question isn't whether you have the time to focus. It's whether you're willing to sit with the discomfort long enough to find out what you're actually capable of when nothing is pulling you away. If this video made you rethink even one habit, do me a favor and hit subscribe, because I'm breaking down psychology and self-improvement research like this every single week, turning it into things you can actually use, not just things you nod along to and forget. And if you made it this far without checking your phone once, drop a comment and tell me how long you lasted. I actually want to know, because that's the real test this video just gave you.